All right, they got me. They got me. Impact out here got me watching the weekly show again. Does that mean? Does that mean that it was actually good? Let's find out. Welcome in to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always, I mean always, he means always, they mean always, you mean always, she means always, an instant classic.
Danny Dunn! Hi, Jake.
We will see you on the flippity dippity. Oh yeah.
All right, what is going on, good people? DJ back here. Justin, right beside me here. We the Impact guys. I still haven't figured out anything that's any better than that. But
the Impact gurus,
the gurus of Impact the wrestling. Who knows? Who knows what we're gonna do? But welcome in to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always, and I mean always, even Justin means always, an instant classic. We're gonna talk about Impact Wrestling for March 17th, 2022. The weekly show, couple weeks past, Sacrifice, how things are going, how they're developing. We're going to try to get back into weekly Impact Wrestling reviews if we can. Feels like people like to see them, so might as well do them, right? So that's how I'm feeling. This will probably be a little bit quicker than the normal review, but nonetheless, first off, overall thoughts on the show. Thought it was pretty good considering you had Josh Alexander's in-ring return, if I'm not mistaken. Am I mistaken about that?
Yeah, that was his in-ring return.
Yeah, in the main event, which that was that last week where he returned? Am I tripping?
Yeah, last week that's where he returned, and he got attacked by Honor No More.
Yeah, because and he kind of surprised everybody with his return, and albeit I'm not gonna say I keep up with every little speck of Impact Wrestling news, but to me, I was excited because I didn't expect this, right? Like I don't know about you, but I haven't been looking up, and maybe it's because Impact is kind of not talked about as much, or like it's just because I haven't watched it in a while, so I haven't been searching it, so it's not showing up in my feed as much. I don't know, but I didn't see anything about this. So last week when this happened, it took me completely by surprise. And of course, the main event was Matt Taven versus, Josh Alexander. And, once again, one of those matches where it's like Impact forces you to watch, this week coming up based off of what they did last week. And they probably one of the best companies at doing that. Don't get enough credit for it, but they're one of the best companies when it comes to setting up for the next week. Casey and I have said it over and over again. Justin and I have said it over and over again. Where certain companies do lack, and I know Impact may not have the production quality and the biggest crowd and all this, but at the end of the day, when it comes to booking towards the next week, Impact Wrestling is one of the best at it, if not the best at it, and there's no debate. You can
and
debate
the in-ring quality
to,
also. And the in-ring quality also is there.
Yeah.
And like you said, the booking, the way they book from each week is great. Because the way the show ended this week, I want more. I want more. It makes me wanting more.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think the reason why that happens is because you truly like even they booked the tag title match for next week. Right. And if you're a fan of the Good Brothers or a fan of Violent by Design in any way, you're going to be like, okay, I want to watch this match. And of course, even this week, you had the return of the Motor City Machine Guns. That was fun. I just think it was a good show top to bottom. Impact keeps me interested. Even watching Raj Singh, I think it was, he was back on this show. I haven't paid too much attention to what he's doing, but they already fed with the Desi Hit Squad. That won't it. That won't it for me. But at the same time, like Raj Singh being there, I was like, okay, the guy that he was managing, I don't know his name right off the top of my head, but he was out there, and I was like, okay, well, who's this guy? And then Raj Singh came out, and I was like, oh gosh, it's friggin' Raj Singh. This is gonna get the Desi Hit Squad all over again. I can't take it. But definitely, I overall I thought the show was pretty good, and we'll talk about the matches, of course, we want to talk about, and anything you want to talk about too, Justin? What was your overall thoughts on the show?
I thought overall it was a good show. Of course they're building towards rebellion here, and I think like I said, they do a good job with booking towards their pay per views and booking each week. So I thought it was an overall good show. I think it was better than last week because last week we didn't have much in ring action. We had more like promos and more like talking on the microphone. But this week we had some really good in ring action here, which I really enjoyed that.
And of course, we started out with that pretty darn good tag team match with Bullet Club with Rich Swann and Jay White going up against the Motor City Machine Guns. You talk about like one of those kind of dream matches you never really expect was gonna happen. This is one of them, and I thought it was good. Like, kind of had you on the edge of your seat. Do you think is the Bullet Club gonna get the advantage because they've kind of, rebranded themselves and added a couple of new / old members back in, right? Like how is that going to happen? What is this going to be like? Like, is this going to be, this is, this kind of the old school versus the new school here with the machine guns too, the veterans going up against like the young, I hate to say this, bucks, so it's just like, it was just one of those matches, where it was like, okay, this is good, and I was definitely excited to see this when Machine Guns get the win, in their kind of return match. What was your thoughts?
This was, might I say, a sweet match. Yeah, terrible joke there. No, but this was a really good match.
It was too sweet.
This was too sweet, and I like the way the show opened up. Paying showing their memories to Scott Hall. I mean, every company does that. You see WWE do that, you seen AEW do that, and of course Impact's doing it here, which showing their paying their respects to Scott Hall here. RIP to him, and of course we did that video. These last couple of days we did that video about Scott Hall. So if you guys want to go check that out, go check that out. It's on the channel here. Cheap plug. But no, this was a good match. Good tag team action here. The ending came to like a surprise. I thought that Chris Bay kicked out at the end there when what was it? Most of the Machine Guns hit their finisher. What's their finisher called? I can't remember what the finisher is called. Hit the skull and bones. They hit that for their finisher, and then I thought Jay White actually broke up the pin. But apparently, no. He didn't save the pin. He didn't get to the pin in time, which was it was close. It was really close, but no, it was a solid match. I enjoyed the really fast paced action, but it was a good match.
Definitely true. We had mentioned the Josh Alexander, Matt Taven main event, which is pretty good too. But let's jump into the next one: Steve Macklin versus Rhino. This was okay because Macklin just turned heel, right, last week?
He's been the heel for a while.
Has he? Oh, okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember. Like, I was like, did he turn heel? But so Macklin turned heel, I know, after because I remember seeing it. It was after Honor No More came in, but I can't remember when exactly.
He's kind of been on the edge of being like a tweener and stuff. Like he's more mainly a heel. But then he was being with Team Impact. But then Team Impact, they booted him out, of being in the match. And then that's when he turned on Team Impact. And that's when he basically became more of a full-fledged heel.
Right. And I'm pretty sure it had something to do, too, with Eddie Edwards blaming him. And then Eddie Edwards turning on Impact. And then Macklin's like, well, screw this. I'm turning on y'all, too, because y'all didn't believe me either.
So basically, he's in the middle because, like, he wasn't being with he wasn't being with Honor No More, and he wasn't being with Impact. He was just, in the center here. Like, he just wants to beat up guys. That's all he wants to do. He wants to beat people up.
He just wants to beat up John Cena. Macklin versus Rhino, pretty good.
He's not AJ Styles. No, he's not AJ Styles.
nothing too crazy. I like that they're building up Macklin. I think him as a heel helps him out a little bit. It keeps him from being too generic. It kind of lets him develop his character a little bit too, and kind of who he is. So, what's your thoughts on? Because I think a lot of fans too sometimes feel like Steve Macklin doesn't belong, and I think as a heel, you can at least play off that a little bit too. What was your thoughts on Macklin versus Rhino?
This was definitely another solid match here. I mean, nothing too crazy happened in this match. I mean, two big hosses fighting. Um, man, I mean that's gotta suck to get hit by your own finisher, lose by your own finisher. He got hit. He lost to the gore. You know when you're playing those WWE games and you get your finisher stolen. That's what it feels like happened here. He got his finisher stolen and he lost by his own finisher. But it was a solid match, and kind of you see Rhino going down this path of, like he can't win on his own. So, and later on the night we had him, and was it after this? We had him and
Yeah,
Heath
I think
Slater.
I remember seeing that promo. I don't know when exactly it was, but I do remember seeing it, and they kind of joined forces again, which I think too was interesting because Rhino's been a heel. Like, wasn't he a heel with Violent by Design recently? Because he
Yeah,
joined
because
them
he
for
joined them,
like that short period of time.
and then he got booted out of Violent by Design because they were blaming everything on him because they were saying that's the reason why they were losing because of Rhino. So they booted him out. Then he did
Right.
his whole face turn. And then he joined. He joined up with Team Impact and all that. But yeah, I think no. After this, it was an inspiration promo with Caleb with a K. That's
Oh
what it
yeah,
was.
yeah. Where he,
Yeah,
trying to be like, make the right decision next time, Caleb. Come on now. What you doing?
yeah. Come on, Caleb.
Which I was
Yeah,
I was a little surprised that they went that direction. Um, Larry D and I can't say his name, Gujar. I definitely can't say his first name.
yeah.
I thought
His
this was good.
that B name, I cannot
Yeah,
pronounce that.
I thought this did a good job of showcasing him though. Larry D is good, and I think he's a good little he's almost like a put over talent, I think, for Impact more than anything, especially since he lost the weight too. He looks more believable, and I think he did a good job of putting him over. Than I know W Morrissey came in after this match to kind of staring down Raj Singh a little bit. That was a little fun.
Yeah, because W Morrissey has a thing going on with like Brian Myers right now. Because apparently Brian Myers been costing him matches and stuff, or like costing him like go for the Impact World Title. So W Morrissey is upset with that. And of course, we have Brian Myers out there, being on, having him be the most professional commentator, which he's not too bad in commentary. I like to see him on commentary more because he's not bad. He knows what moves to call and stuff, so he's not bad. I like this gimmick he has going right now, and he's also the most professional wrestler. Um, but about this match here, yeah, I thought this was a decent match. I cannot pronounce this guy's name as well. That name that starts with a B, and I think he's undefeated right now in Impact, which is cool. And it's cool seeing Larry D back, and he's lost quite a bit of weight, like you said. So it's really cool seeing him back. I wonder where AC Romero's been at, because that was his former tag team partner, which I'm not sure if he's still with Impact or whatnot, but. I mean, it's cool seeing Larry D back, working as a heel and stuff, because I feel like that's what fits his persona more. Because he doesn't really look like a babyface character to me, but it was a solid match. It was good.
Yeah, and I know Honor No More had that promo afterwards and kind of talking about Impact going down the wrong path, and they don't really want to mess with Honor No More because I mean, and it's kind of cool because it's like what does Honor No More have to lose, right? They don't know their future, and like it plays off of real life a little bit too. Like they don't know what do they have to lose? They've already lost their jobs with Ring of Honor, like they don't know what you don't know, especially with Tony Khan buying it. You don't know what the future holds. So how does that work? And I like that they're still working with Impact and at least going to finish the storyline, if nothing else. And it was pretty good promo. I'm liking Honor No More a lot. Deonna Purrazzo versus Giselle Shaw versus Lady Frost. For the championship.
Too much champ in there.
This was good, and I think it showcased what everybody could do, and I think that's a good thing. I think to showcase what all three of these women can do and build them all up in this type of a match, I think was good. I think this was one of the better matches, on the night. Of course, Deanna's good, and to the fact that they still have a title on her, I think is a testament to the booking too, of how good they booked her. Kind of showcasing some of these other titles. Bringing a little more prestige to for the Impact fans for some of these titles too. So I think they've done a good job. What's your thoughts on the triple threat title match?
Triple threat title match was really good, and you know what? Prove me wrong like that. Deonna Purrazzo is the best wrestler. She's the best women's wrestler in the world, or the best wrestler in the world right now. Like she's up there. Like in all, every company, in WWE, AEW, like there's no other women's wrestler that's better than her right now. And she's even better than some of the men right now. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. Deanna's good, and I think that's why they put another title on her, because she's just that good. There's no reason to not have like. It's almost like she should have the Impact title right now, or she should have the Impact Women's title right now. I know they wanted to bring Mickey back and all that, and of course they needed a transition if they were going to go to Tasha Steelz anyway. They needed a transition to go from Deanna heel to Mickey and then Natasha. But I think sometimes Deanna should still be the champion, because she is good, and she's definitely done some good stuff. So
yeah, I thought it was a really good match though. Like all three of these women, it was really fast paced. Like I thought even maybe one of these women could have got like a roll up. There was a lot of roll ups, which DJ loves roll ups. He loves them for roll up finishes. But there was a lot of near falls in this match. If I could talk right now, there's a lot of near falls. I think Deonna Purrazzo hit the Queen's Gambit for the win, which she snuck in for the win there. Like when it was Lady Frost, she hit something on the top rope, and then which it was a nice ending. It was real nice. Basically, still holding on to those titles. I liked how she's defending the title every single week. She's having no fear. She loves to put her title on the line, but any title on the line, either if it's the AAA Reina Del Rey Championship or the Ring of Honor Championship. But I like what she's doing here.
Yeah, I agree. Back-to-back squash matches here with Jonah and Zicky Dice. Of course, Jonah gets the win because they're building Jonah up. Masha Slamovich Ari. So that to just building people up, perfect way to do it. You got any thoughts on those?
I mean, I like what they're doing with Jonah here, how they're keeping him looking strong, which I feel like we don't really get that. We don't really see a whole lot of like squashes. I mean, we still do, but like, we don't really see a whole lot in WWE right now, or like what's going on in AEW, because they love to make everybody look strong in AEW. I mean, everybody has to look strong over there. But I kind of like how they go back to the old days. How they go back to the old formula of wrestling. Where to build somebody up, you can have these local talents, and get squashed by the up and coming wrestlers and stuff, which is good.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too, Justin.
And I like how they have this feud still going on with Jonah and PCO, which I feel like it's going to lead to like a really big match of some sort, maybe like a last man standing or something, or maybe how they rolled PCO out on a stretcher.
Yeah.
What if they make a stretcher match? Yeah, I thought that was kind of odd when he came out, like those paramedics came out, brought him out on a stretcher. I'm like, what? What did they do with PCO here? But I thought it was interesting.
Like a video or something.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of odd there. I mean, some of the stuff that Impact does is still
I guess they just got a stretcher just laying, in the backstage.
Laying backstage, they said, "Hey, roll me out here on the stretcher." And what was the other match again?
Ari and
Masha Slamovich. Yeah, that was another squash match. Nothing much to it. I like how they build in Slamovich, which I recently just seen her at a Wrestling Revolver show. She is really good in the ring. Like she's a badass, and she's really good. But nothing too special at the match show.
Main event: Matt Taven versus Josh Alexander. When is Matt Taven still the Ring of Honor champion?
No, it is still.
Oh, it's Gresham, right?
Yeah, Jonathan Gresham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A former Ring of Honor champion going up against a former Impact champion. I thought this was good. I mean, Josh Alexander is probably about as legit as they come. I just think he's that good. Matt Taven, of course, does good work too. He kind of ground and pound, and it's kind of like one of those bruiser back and forth type matches. And I thought it was good. Definitely a good match. Definitely worth the watch. Josh Alexander got the win as he should. And then I saw after, I know Moose did something with Josh's kid or something, like mind games or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that was interesting. Of course, Moose has the greatest troll championship win we've ever seen when he beat Josh Alexander like that. But what was your thoughts on the main event as we get ready to sign off?
Yeah, it was a good main event match. Matt Taven and Josh Alexander. I think, this is the first time I've ever seen these two guys go at it. So, kind of like a fancy little match here. So it's not bad. Kind of with the, I think Impact does the best thing, like with this whole like revolving door, like forbidden door. There we go with the whole forbidden door. Forbidden revolving door. Yes, I like how they have the relationship with New Japan and how they have their relationship with Ring of Honor talent and even some AEW talent. Also, like I feel like Impact does the best with that.
Yeah, I think so too.
But no, it was a solid match. I'm happy that Josh Alexander came away with the win. Correct.
Yeah, and it's a personal feud, so I think adding a little more personal feel to it, I feel like makes sense.
And then also the ending there with Moose showing up to Josh Alexander's house, and kind of go like, hey, how about his wife go take the contract to Scott D'Amore and that kind of get in the mind of Josh Alexander, because you don't show up to somebody else's house and go intimidate their wife and their kid. You don't do that. You don't mess with somebody else's family.
You don't win the world title. You don't win the world title during a celebration with their. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that. But as always, hope you guys enjoyed the review. We'll of course have more coming up as well. Be sure to leave your comments what you thought on Impact this week. Are you loving Impact? Are you hating Impact? Leave your thoughts. Appreciate you guys for coming by. Of course, we'll see you guys on the next one. Until next time, this has been the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always, and I'm always.